if given the nod by this August House, I will engage all my MPs and I will make it mandatory for every quarter for us to sit down and review some of the issues that are coming up and look at how we can combat it on the ground. These conflicts sometimes emanate from idle hands. And with this Greek mechanization policy that is coming, which I'm going to give it my blessing if I've given the nod by this House, when the youth are engaged, I think we will reduce drastically some of these skirmishes that come up in the region.
Thank you very much. I will then proceed to give the floor to Dr. Mahama Kabiru. Tia.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, before I proceed with my questions, I also want to join the multitude in congratulating our senior brother, Ekeda, a committed member of the National Democratic Congress, who has risen through the rank to become the regional minister of the newly created Northeast region. Congratulations, my brother. And also, I will also want to send the nominee to some few corrections on the CV. The CV, page 1, you acquired Bachelor of Science, Information and Communication Technology from GIMPA. You have to check the years. It could be post, it's done in 2 years. And I'm not sure GIMPA offers a degree program for 2 years, so check the dates. Also, on page 3, you mentioned that you had served as an appointed assembly member from 1994 to 2001. But when you go to page 4, on the leadership position, it was from 1993 to 2000. So you correct that anomaly as well, because the House of Parliament or Committee is a House of Records. And we want
Honourable member, you are presuming that these are mistakes. It's really a mistake or not? Because on the CV, I see that from 2004 to 2006, the nominee obtained from the same GIMPA a diploma in computer science. So having obtained a diploma in computer science, it is possible for him to do 2 years degree. So you can assume it is a mistake.
I'm guided, Mr. Chairman, but once that is taken, but the second point cannot be, there's no explanation, but except to say that it's a mistake, because page 4. All right, so let's go through the motion. So, Mr. Nominee, you stated here on your CV, and it is 2007 to 2009. Was that the year, the month, and then the month? Can you state the month and then the year for that program?
Thank you, Chairman. Honourable member, which one are you talking on specifically?
On the degree.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, I did the diploma for 2 years and the degree for 2 years. 2004 to 2006 and 2007 to 2009.
On page 3. You said you served as an assembly member appointed 1994 to 2001. And in page 4, you stated it was from... Yeah, so 3. Can you go to page 3?
Page 3. Okay, yeah, I've seen it.
On page 3, 1994 to 2001, East Mamposi District Assembly served as government appointee to the Assembly for 2 terms. Now, compare that with page 4, where you stated your leadership position, and that spans from 1993 to 2000. Is there any explanation for that?
I think that might be an error on my part, but I served the Assembly for 8 years. When in the 1992, after the elections, and then the assemblies were formulated, I was appointed as a government appointee, and I served the full term until when NDC lost power. that my appointment was revoked.
All right, thank you. So you will correct those mistakes and then probably submit your CV to the committee. So my question, Mr. Nob, there are ongoing projects, and I'm sure you are aware of a lot of ongoing projects in the region. We have some of them have been stalled due to the debt exchange program. Some of them are actually inhibited because there's no funding opportunity for them. Na Lirgo, na Panduru Bonkurgo route, we have the Ulugu passenger route, we have the Nasia Janga route, we have the Nasia Mimima route. All of these routes, some of them were awarded as far back as 2017. What, as a regional minister and representing the president in the Northeast region, what will you do when you are given the opportunity by the committee or by Parliament to serve as a regional in respect of these ongoing projects? Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. All projects that have been initiated in the region are so dear to the hearts of the people. And we are there as humble servants of the people. And we have to ensure that all those projects are executed. Even by the policy of our President, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, he has pledged on several occasions that he will complete all projects that are ongoing and will initiate fresh projects. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman. A follow-up. Do I get the assurance from you, and I'm asking this on behalf of the people and the community so affected or so involved in this, do I give the assurance that those projects would be completed under your watch, if given the nod?
Thank you, Chair. I will collaborate with you as my MPs in the region, and we will lobby all the ministries and agencies where they are directly involved to seek funding to get them completed. I'm even assuring you that the watermelon factory that you have started, which is not yet completed, is not working. That is my priority. I'll get the farmers to produce watermelon for it to go into full function. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My second question. Yeah, my second question. Mr. Chairman, I did a follow-up on the first question, and that has just been answered. The next is my substantive second question. My first question had to do with the ongoing projects, and that was answered.
But you ask question based on his CVs.
Mr. Chairman, I thought I saw
you ask your last question.
Mr. Chairman, I thought I saw your leave.
Ask your
Mr.
last
Chairman,
question.
Mr. Chairman, I sought leave from you.
Please ask your last question.
Mr. Chairman, I sought leave from you to ask preliminary questions. So if those questions are, if you are not granting me the opportunity to ask three questions,
please go ahead and ask your question.
Thank you very much.
Last question.
But that is my second question. If it is granted as a last question, I take that as your ruling, Chairman. Thank you. On issues of flooding, we have a lot of issues regarding flooding. And if you recall, a lot of areas, including Wale Wale and Yakaba Kubore, have faced these perennial flooding issues. And we have the ongoing Polugu multipurpose dam. Again, that is also a stalled project. How are you going to harness the disaster, so-called, to an opportunity for the people of the Northeast region, taking into consideration that these farmers, or most people in these areas are farmers, and in the lean season, they are not engaged in, they virtually go out of work. How are you going to harness the disaster into an opportunity for the people of Northeast region?
Thank you, Chairman. Honorable Kabiru is my father. He shares Tia and I share Tia. So I think he will end there because that's my father. However, like I mentioned, of the putting the watermelon factory in Walawale into good use. That is one of the policies in harnessing the water that spills over from the Palgo Dam and will even go into do dry season farming. That would encourage the farmers to do all year farming to feed the factory. 2, with the floods, I will work with the relevant agencies for us to see how we can handle it. And where some of our communities are living in communities that are not too good, we will see what we can do to advise them to move out of those areas to minimize the flooding that usually occur. For example, Nayoko immediately after Walwali, on yearly basis, they will just be there in the morning, around 7 o'clock, there will be nothing. And by 8 o'clock, water will flood the whole place and nobody can even live in that house. We need to engage them, let them understand. If we can divert the floods, fine. If you cannot, it's possible for us to engage them with the relevant stakeholders to see how we can migrate them to safer lands to avoid such a calamity. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I will proceed to give the floor to Haji Aladi Ayamba.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Let me take the opportunity to congratulate the nominee and say I wish you all the best. You have worked all these years and eventually you have gotten to this high position to work directly with your people. I wish you the best. My question is, I have read on your CV and your birthplace is a place where I think I have been very familiar with, and I know so much about that area that it is a food basket. A lot of these our cereals and what have you. And you mentioned the production of a lot of rice and then watermelon and what have you. I just want to find out from you what steps you will take to make sure that value is added to these products to enable our teeming girls and boys who rush down to Accra, Kumasi, Techimang, and even places they don't know and are not sure of, so that they can have jobs and stop running to places where there are no jobs. What will you do to add value? Because the raw products are always there. What will you do to add value? Thank you.
Thank you, Mama. We have to collaborate with the sector ministry, Ministry of Agriculture, Ministry of Trade and Industry, to see how we can put up industries within the Yagaba Kobore enclave. The rice that we produce there, then we put them to the stage that we can even export. Two, if we are able to do that, to get the factories there, we will get these our sisters and brothers who rush to Accra on this Kai to remain there and work. And I think it will help us. Secondly, I think that if Burkina Faso can produce tomatoes, we used to produce tomatoes in Palgo, and the land in Palgo is not too different from the land in the Northeast region. We can equally produce tomatoes in the Northeast region, and that is one of my priorities that I would like to engage, to collaborate with relevant stakeholders, Ministry of Agric, and other sector ministries to see how we can raise funding, notwithstanding even getting to Exim Bank, to get funding, say that the produce that we are going to produce there will not go to waste, and also minimize post-harvest losses. By so doing, we will engage our youth, and they will be gainfully employed. They will not move to the jobs that they are doing. Thank you, Chairman.
Chairman, my second question has to do with the girl child. It is very important to keep the girl child in school. But as someone from the northern sector myself, I know how difficult it has always been. What will you do specially and specifically, not ignoring the boy child, no, but specially for the girl child, to ensure that they attend, stay in school, and complete at the level that they may be able to reach? not cutting or stopping or being pulled out of school, the girl child specifically. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. We have to work on the perceptions of our people. And this, we need to do it by constantly engaging the relevant stakeholders. Ghana Education Service, I am aware Comfort is within the region, and they are working so hard towards the girl child education. We will collaborate effectively with them and engage GES to see how we can minimize that. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much. Any further question?
No, just to wish him the best in his office.
Thank you, Honorable Umar Alasan.
Thank you, Chairman. Mr. Nominee, congratulations. I wish you the best. I know you have worked hard for the party since 1993, and given this opportunity, you really prove that the party, we are here to reset the country. My question is in relation to your area, which is the healthcare. I want to, let me check my question. No, it will come. No. Thank you. Mr. Nominee, what strategies will you implement to improve healthcare services in the region? In view that you've been in the healthcare industry for quite a period.
Thank you, Chair. It will be my priority to increase access to health facilities by increasing the number of CHIPS compounds in our area and upgrading some of the existing facilities. Also, collaborating with the district assemblies to see how we can get incentives for doctors and nurses so that we can retain them in the region for our people to access health care.
Thank you very much. I will then proceed to give the floor.
Okay. All right.
You have a further question? Very well.
I just want to wish him well.
Honorable Ritana Udelesowa, you have a question? Please do.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. I want to congratulate the nominee of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama on his nomination as the Minister for the Northeast region. Honorable nominee, congratulations. Your region has a lot of tourism potentials, and I want to know what are some of the programs or measures you would put in place to liaise with the tourism ministry to ensure that you promote tourism to bring more revenue to the area, and also how would you develop the tourism infrastructure so that when tourists come, they'll have a place to live which will be affordable and beneficial to the people of the region. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. That is very true. In Gambaga, we have the ancestral graves of the Mushi Kingdom. There are 3 graves, and I think that is another good side that we can develop very well and tie it to the festivities that we have within the area, such that the chief in Burkina Faso on a yearly basis will be visiting the graves, which will also give us income for the assembly and the region. Secondly, we have the Nigerian Wall, which is in Nalergu. We've all read it in the books. It's a very good place that we can develop. I'll do that in collaboration with my MPs and the sector ministry and other relevant stakeholders, so that we can bring these things on board Again, we have the Gambaga Scap, and when you get to Napanduri Scap, there is a guest house that Dr. Kwame Nkrumah used to live in, and that guest house is still there, just right on top of the Scap. And when you are on top of that Scap, you can view the whole, some parts of Upper East region. It's a nice place. I've been there several times, and I think when we put it to use, it's a source of tourism attraction, and then we can get a lot of income from there, and even get our youth and some of the ladies to work there. And then when we are there gainfully employed, I think that it will also reduce the menace that we always get in Accra, especially the Kaya. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you.
Yeah. Chairman, thank you. I wish to congratulate you again and wish you well on your new appointment. All the best. God bless you.
Madam, I'm most grateful.
Thank you, Mohammed Muniru. Nuruddin, okay.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Onomi, congratulations. Your appointment is a well-deserved appointment. Your nomination is a well-deserved nomination, and the entire Northeast region is very proud of you because we know you can do the job. My question has to do with the insecurity from Boku to Wale Wale. The Boku conflict is not only now in Upper East, it is now spread to the Northeast region. And you realize that whenever there's an attack on the Boku-Bolga road, a replicate attack happened in the Bolga-Wale Wale road. If you are given the mandate, you will collaborate with your colleague or your counterpart in the Upper East region to make sure that these issues are resolved amicable and that people will live in peace.
Thank you, Chair. Rightly so, the nominee for Upper East region is an uncle. I will collaborate effectively with him and with the security agencies for them to do 24-hour policing of the Wale Bolga stretch. And I hope that my brother too in Upper East region, my uncle in Upper East region will do same on the Bolga Boku stretch. And when we do that, and also engage the youth and the relevant stakeholders in this conflict, it will minimize the skirmishes on that route. Secondly, in the beginning of this month, His Excellency, the President, John Dramani Mahama, was in Boku, and he came to Nalergu. He met both overlords. And I think that that is the best way to start engaging. When we keep engaging each other, I think we'll get a lasting solution to the problem. Thank you.
Any further questions?
Yeah, a follow-up question to that. Honorable, you realize that in the past few weeks, there were military brutality in Wale Wale. How will you collaborate with the victims to find justice for them?
Thank you, Chair. Yeah, it was brought to my attention, and those military men were invited to the chief of Walale Palace, and they apologized for the skirmishes that happened in Wale Wale. However, I will not leave it there. I will still engage them for us to see how we can handle it effectively. Yeah. Thank you.
All right. Mr. Chairman, my final question. Let me make that one final question. Honorable Ibrahim Tia, you know education is very important for the people of Northeast region. And as a young region that was created by His Excellency Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo, we still have a lot of educational challenges. In the last few years, His Excellency Nanado government established about 7 senior high schools that are still at the growth stage, and 2 nursing training colleges, the one in Yagba and the one in Wale Wale. And also the previous Mahama administration also started a new site for the Gambaga College of Education. If given the nod by this committee, how will you collaborate with the relevant agency to make sure that these institutions are upgraded and get infrastructure at the level of those that are already existent. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman. As I mentioned earlier, His Excellency has promised that his government will continue with all projects that were started by the former president, His Excellency Nana Addo Akufo. However, that will also depend on funds. But they are so relevant to us. As an MP from my constituency, we will collaborate and see how we can raise funds for those projects which are so dear to the people to be completed. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I wish you all the best. Thank you.
It's now the turn of Honorable Muhammad Shaibu.
Chairman, thank you so very much. Honorable nominee, my good friend, congratulations.
Thank you.
A well-deserved nomination. A few years ago, your region, including mine, were created. We were all very excited. Indeed, there was pomp and pageantry to welcome the new regions. And we expected some sort of fast pace in development. I'm sure you and I are disappointed that the rate at which we wanted development to go, we're not getting it that way. Mr. Nominee, you would need an aggressive economic activities to be able to promote your young region. Please tell us what plans you have in this direction.
Thank you, Chair. As I mentioned, as a new minister, I will learn from my previous ministers who have been in that position, and I will collaborate with you, some of you, the MPs too, so that we go through all the relevant ministries, Minister of Finance, the Common Fund Administrator, wherever I think we will go and raise resources to get this our infant regions also grow up to a pace with the previous regions or the existing regions. We will do, and I will rely on your support and guidance. As legislators, you know it. Most of the ministers are from Parliament. I'll use Nuruddin, my father Tia, and Honorable Mustafa, and then we'll see how. And Honorable Alajo, Honorable Alasan Suleiman Ali has just blessed, and our senior MP, Dr. Ebed Bandim Azuma, for us to comb all the ministries and see how we can bring development to our people. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any more questions?
Yes, Chairman. Chairman, I have a last one. Honorable nominee,
We have some order.
Your region, just like other new regions, is full of diverse ethnic and tribal groupings. There's normally a dominant tribal grouping, and the others will normally accuse the dominant of uneven development in terms of infrastructure and the rest. Can you assure the good people of your region, the diverse ethnic groups, that you will have a balanced development in terms of infrastructure for all of them? Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman. For sure, that will be my priority. And transparency and consultations with all relevant stakeholders, and getting all the districts within my region having the fair share of the cake. It's my priority. And I'm assuring this House that that is what I will do, and that is what I will be doing.
Chairman, I wish him Allah's blessings.
Thank you very much. I will give the floor to Honorable Patrick Yabwam.
Thank you very much. Congratulations. I can see your Honorable Chairman behind you, giving you all the support. So our former colleague, Honorable Tanko, welcome to the House. Honorable nominee, there are a lot of unapproved routes in your region. I know some around you in your area. Even when you get to that point, you are able to watch television from Togo. A lot of trading activities around there. It's a source of worry and some way, somehow, some benefits in terms of trade. They sell a lot of Togolese beer there. I'm sure you are aware about that. I know your area very well. Because what are some of the challenges around those unapproved routes and the security concerns that it brings to you as an incoming minister? And what steps you are going to take to address some of them? Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman. That is a reality. In the whole of the UNU area, there's not even a single tarred road. And that is a district, not even a single tarred road. And UNU is equally having the potential of rice growing. But the route from Wenchigi passing through to Bunkurugu is an eyesore. And I think that if we collaborate with or lobby the Minister of Highways, getting the road network from Chereponi through Wenchigi to Bunkurugu, then we are opening up the area. And again, if the Eastern Corridor route, that will also take off from Gushegu through Bentry, Tema, Nanson to Napanduri, and then getting to the Upper East region, I think we will open up the place for business. Again, we will have to collaborate with the security agencies to see how we can put checkpoints around the area to curb some of the armed robberies that go around that side.
Chairman, my second question. You are going to be chairing the RECSEC in a region that is split in the middle between the NDC and the MPP in terms of parliamentary seats. 3-3. The MPP won the presidential vote. It's always been like that since the region was created. And that's why you have 3 of your MPs on my left here. You need to be a team player to ensure a smooth administration of the region. What assurance are you going to give to us as a minister designate?
Thank you, Chair. If you recall, I mentioned that I would like to be holding quarterly meetings with all my MPs in the region for us to see how we can develop the region as a whole. And I'll open my doors for consultations with all the 3 MPs to my right and my 3 MPs to my left. Thank you.
Well, it's easier said than done. When you are directed to stop the payment of their common fund, well, let's pray to God. I'm sure you have issues of telephone connectivity too in the region. And our advice is not a question, that the previous administration took some steps to address these challenges. The area of rural telephony, I will entreat you to take the necessary steps, deal with it with the NC and the incoming Minister for Communications, to ensure that the good people of Northeast are well connected in the area of telephony, to ensure that they're able to communicate to the rest of the world. I thank you very much and congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. I'll proceed to give the floor to Honorable George Rickett Hagan.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Nominee, congratulations. Congratulations.
Thank you, Honorable.
I just have one question, or partly could be advice, actually. First of all, welcome to the club of regional ministers, present and past. The question is that you are going to have challenges to do with decentralized ministries and departments that we have in all the regions. And many a times, projects happen, or something will be going on in your region by a ministry that you will have no knowledge of. You may even find yourself in a situation where you have to sign certificate of a project. You might not have an idea how it was even awarded, because the composite budget system that we have been talking about for many years actually hasn't worked. So every ministry will have their own budget, and whoever they send to your region as their office will be drawing their resources from the ministry itself in Accra. So projects are awarded from Accra, you will have no knowledge of it, and things will be happening around you. How do you intend to make sure that you are aware of all projects carried out?
If given the nod, as the head of the region and the head of the Regional Coordinating Council, all relevant organizations within the region will be having engagements with them on quarterly basis or even monthly basis to see what their priorities are, which projects are ongoing, which projects are coming from Accra, and which projects can we as a region also initiate. And in so doing, having constant dialogue with the heads of departments and agencies in the region, you have a fair idea as to what is going on in their various departments. And that will give us a clear idea as to how we will cooperate and then bring good governance to our people. Thank you.
Honorable Nominee, I wish you all the best. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable.
I now give the floor to Deputy Whip, Available Ranking.
Honorable Chair, thank you very much. Congratulations, sir. Congratulations, sir.
Thank you, sir.
I see you are married with 7 children. How many wives?
I'm a Muslim and I'm entitled to 4 wives.
Please, you haven't answered my question.
Oh, I have 2 wives.
Honorable Nominee, my chairman tells me it's a choice, but we also want to know, just for those who are also keenly interested, if they want to apply, they can apply. I see no problem with that. Or you don't agree
interested because you are potential.
Honorable Nominee, so there is a witch camp in Gambaga. That is correct.
Yes.
Do you, in the first place, believe in witchcraft?
I don't believe in witchcraft, but it exists.
Do you have any plans at all with reference to the witch camp in Gambaga? Any plans? Do you want to maintain? Do you want to develop? Do you want to refurbish? What about the standard of living of the people in the camp? What are your plans?
Thank you, Chair. The history of the Gambaga witches camp is so interesting. Initially, in those dark days, they used to kill them. And the then Imam said, no, killing them was too inhuman. And for that matter, once the traditional leader, the Gambarana, has some spiritual powers that can neutralize the witchery, why not we send them there for him to prove, or otherwise, whether they are witches or not? And that was when they stopped the killing of witches. So the Gambaga witches camp served as a home for the witches. So when they get there, when he proves that you are not a witch, they allow you to go back. If it turns otherwise, then you remain there, and then he will use his spiritual powers to neutralize the witchery in the witch. When this is done, there's another NGO that is now working with the witches camp, and we call it Go Home Project, which is funded by the Presby Church. They will come in and go to the community to see how they can engage the stakeholders in that community for the acceptance of the alleged witch or the perceived witch back into his community. And it works out. Sometimes they assist them. They give them food, they give them clothing. They have, as I'm talking to you, there is borehole that is serving that community with water. I can recall on a number of occasions, Her Excellency, the President's wife, Madam Lodina, has been visiting them on every occasion by giving them clothing on every festivity. And there are a lot of NGOs that also come around to assist them. Those who are willing to get back home, provided the community is ready to accept them, they move home. And there are some there, when you even want them to go home, they will tell them, look, this is a safe home for me, and I'm not willing to go back to my community. So these are the issues surrounding the Gambaga witches camp. If you do not understand the dynamics and how it came about, if you use one method, it may not work well for they themselves. Thank you.
So, in a nutshell, you think the witch camp should stand because they serve as homes for people who, as it were, are called witches? Safe havens or homes?
That privilege is left to the witches to decide. Those who want to go home are free to go, and those who want to remain there too are free to remain. Because, you know, it's a decade issue which we need to deal with. The perception has so stuck with the people saying that we have to manage it. It's a process. It cannot just be a day's event. So it's a process that we have to build the mentalities of the people to accept at a point that we can now get to where we all think that, look, this camp should be abolished. Thank you.
Don't you also think that sometimes it is interchangeably used for people who are poor?
I have observed on 2 occasions at the Gambaga Palace that a perceived or an alleged witch came and they slaughtered the fowls. And the fowls proved that the woman was a witch, and she admitted that yes. I am a witch and I bewitched. So in that case, what else can I say? That is why I'm saying perceived or alleged witch. And if she's the one accused, admitting that yes, this is the reality, what else can one say?
Tia, I think you've been a youth organizer or the organizer of your constituency for about 20 years, and also been a regional secretary for about 3 years, 2022, 2023 to 2025. So if by God's grace this committee approves of your nomination, you are going to be the regional minister of the Northeast region. It's a double-edged sword. You are going to, as it were, be a representative of the National Democratic Congress in that high office of the region. And you're also supposed to be taking care of other political parties, including the New Patriotic Party. How do you intend to navigate this position without seeing your regional coordinating council as an extension of your party office?
Thank you, Chair. I am not only a party executive, but I'm a founding member of the NDC. In the formation of the party, I was there. When they were launching the party in Cape Coast, I was there. And as you rightly mentioned in my CV, I've served the party throughout my life. And Honorable Nuruddin from Gambaga was my boy. And now he's an MP under MPP. He knows it. He worked under me. So he knows my capabilities. And I think I can handle everybody in the region. I will not be biased at all. We want development. And where we are, we need to work collectively to develop the region. Thank you.
I want to find out, have you perchance seen or perused a report from the Ghana Statistical Service? That's a 2021 Ghana Statistical Service report on population and housing census. That says that water and sanitation, over half of the Northeast region, the urban household practice open defecation.
I've heard of that, but I've not read the document.
So assuming that that is the case, there is open defecation. Wherever you pass, there is something. You are a fine gentleman going into this big office of regional minister. What will be your plans and policies to eradicate open defecation?
Thank you, Chair. Continuous sensitization of our people in the rural communities will do the deal for us through the assembly structures. And again, I intend collaborating with my MPs, the 6 MPs in the region, for us to see how we can raise a billion rake that will provide all the communities in the region potable and accessible water. That will also minimize some of the polluted waters that we have around. Thank you.
I was talking about open defecation.
Yeah, when we have water flowing to their houses, I think it will keep some of the open defecations, because some of them can even provide water closest for their house, provided there is water for them to use. And aside that, like I mentioned earlier, continuous sensitization with the communities through community development, social welfare, and I think we can get it eradicated. Thank you.
My chairman says good answer. I think he's your #1 supporter here. I want to find out from you, as regional minister, do you know what is expected of you? Do you know your roles, what you are supposed to go and do as regional minister?
Yeah, it's a huge challenge. I am there to monitor and supervise all the MMDC, DAs, and the district assemblies in the region.
I think that is not all. So I was hoping that in fact, I need you to elaborate.
Honorable member, that is the response from the nominee.
Mr. Chairman, I'm asking a follow-up. As regional minister, apart from monitoring and supervising MMDs, what else is expected of you?
Thank you, Chairman. I'm the head of the Regional Security Committee. And I will open my doors to all stakeholders in the region to see how I can minimize conflicts in the region. Thank you.
Very well. And you are aware there are some conflicts in your region. As your exec chairman, okay, so I don't have to assume like chairman would advise. Do you know if there are some conflicts in your region?
Thank you, Chairman. Not only my region. In the whole of the country, there are conflicts all over. So as a head, certainly you know, once you are dealing with human beings, these issues will come up, and when they come up, you use the security agencies, the chiefs, the opinion leaders, the youth, to see how we can mitigate it and then nip it in the bag.
Gender inequality remains a challenge in the Northeast, and I'm sure you see in the whole of Ghana, since I've seen the trend of your answers. In particular,
it's in the whole country.
The Northeast region. How do you, Mr. Chair, so it doesn't mean that if you are going to Northeast, you can't go and deal with issues of gender inequality in Northeast. So I want to find out from you. Maybe you can be the lead advocate of gender equality, although it is perhaps in the world. What do you intend to do as regional minister with the issue of gender inequality?
Thank you, Chair. I'll prioritize the gender, the female aspect of it. That will be my priority, to get women always involved in whatever we are doing.
Are there some tourist sites in your region, and what do you intend to do with them?
Please, this question has been asked and answered, so maybe if you have another.
Yes, I do. High poverty rates in the country. Any special plans for your region as to how to eradicate poverty?
Thank you. My region is blessed with arable land for farming. And I think if the Minister of Agric, Minister of Trade and Industry, and all other relevant organizations that will assist my region, we can produce rice in my region to feed the whole country. Secondly, I mentioned earlier, the legacy the MPP government left uncompleted because it is not yet put to use. The watermelon factory, which is there, and our people are watermelon farmers, will put it into use and get our youth into groups, and they will do all year farming. And I think, I mentioned again about the tomato farming. If Burkina Faso can produce tomatoes, we can produce tomatoes in East Mamprusi, and that is my major priority, where we'll get all the farmers engaged in all year farming, and no vehicle, about 100 vehicles leave Kumasi and go to Burkina Faso to purchase tomatoes. And I think with the collaboration of this August House, with my MPs and the Minister of Agric, Minister of Finance, if we get the required funding, I think we can do the trick for the country in the course of tomato production. Thank you.
Okay, I think I'm more excited about that response. I want to also find out, how do you intend to integrate the Northeast region into the broader national development agenda, as in ensuring that it receives maximum attention and resources from central government?
Thank you, Chair. If I'm given the nod by this August House, I'll get all the various stakeholders in the region and the departments for us to come out with a blueprint, which we'll be pursuing. And that is what we will use to pursue to see how we can get logistics funds to improve upon our vulnerable region. Thank you.
How many hours did it take you to travel to Accra? As by road, as in by road?
Several hours. I said several hours.
Okay, so did you travel by road or by air?
I came by road. And I passed through from Nalergu through Bentry, Gushegu, Yendi, Bimbala, Dambai. When I got there, I got stuck. The Pantu was at the other side, so we had to wait. We waited around for several hours before the Pantu came, and we now crossed. And that really delayed our movement into Accra. So I'm pleading with you to see how we can get funds to also work on the Dambai Bridge so that we have easy access and we can use maybe less than 7 hours from my region to Accra.
Thank you. This should be my last question. The Northeast region faces challenges with reference to the climate. And this includes desertification and unreliable rainfall. Do you have any plans at all to see how you can well work on some of this? Unreliable rainfall and desertification.
Thank you, Chair. I will collaborate with all the relevant agencies for us to see how we can manage that.
Just a follow-up. Do you have an idea which agencies you are referring to?
Ministry of Agric, Forestry Commission, EPA.
Thank you. I wish you very well, Mr. Tia.